That was when I started to see the biggest difference with this backpack. This might not be the packing setup for me. The Osprey 55-liter backpack is super popular, but does it actually make travel easier or just bulkier? I just used it as my only bag for a 5-day trip, and I have thoughts. So let's get into the real pros and cons after using it in the wild. If you haven't already seen it, in my last video, I did a sort of unboxing tour of the backpack, as well as show you exactly what I packed in it for my 5-day trip. So if you want to see that one first, go and watch that one and then come back to this one to see how that trip went and my thoughts about using the backpack. First, let's talk about using it at the airport and the entire travel day experience. So it's one of those things that in the beginning, I was very optimistic. I had heard a lot about people who don't like to travel with rolling suitcases or any wheels on the ground, especially when you go to the very cobblestone, hilly, rocky areas in like Europe and Asia. So I wanted to see if that was gonna be a travel style that would also work for me. Getting out of the car at the airport, everything was looking good. I put the big backpack on my back, and then I decided to carry it with the day pack in the front because I felt like if it was in the back, it would like tip me over on an escalator, and I didn't want that. And looking back, I think the day pack should not have been that low. I needed to snap it on and then pull the straps to raise it up, and that might've made it a bit more comfortable, which I did in the end. But I think that was a mistake I made in the beginning, was that pack was too low. Overall, it's not uncomfortable to wear. I feel like it looks a lot bulkier than it feels. It looks like it's more inconvenient than it really is. And that was something that I noted, was that I felt like I looked like I was doing too much. Although this is very convenient, I feel a little excessive, even though it was just the backpack. That's just how it looked. Yeah, very comfortable. As you saw, it was very easy to pack. So with the 40 plus the 15, it was 55 liters. And for comparison, the packing setup that I had been using was my Monos carry-on and most recently the Alpa 28 liter. So that was a 28 liter carry-on and a 28 liter backpack. So it was right around the same amount of space that I'm used to. But for me, it honestly felt like I was able to fit so much more when I was packing. I was actually shocked that I got all of that stuff in there. Navigating through security was honestly pretty easy. I do have clear and pre-check, so my security experience is normally very good, and I absolutely love having both. Since I don't have to take out my liquids or my laptop or anything, I didn't really have to mess around with that. I just got to the line. I would like rest the front pack on some sort of surface to unclip it, unclip both, and then as they came through, I put the backpack back on, clipped on the front, and then I was good to go. With walking around the airport, that was when I started to see the biggest difference with this backpack. I love airports, okay? I feel like this is very important. I think airports are like malls with the added perk of I end up somewhere else when I'm done. My only option to carry my stuff is on my person. It really made me, for the first time, consider if I actually wanted to walk around. And that's something I never would have even thought about. But this time it was like, as I'm walking to my gate, oh, do you want to stop and pop in the store and look at the books? Like, no, this backpack is heavy. So that was when I was like, maybe this might not be the packing setup for me. Okay, anyway, we're gonna keep seeing how it goes. So I get to the gate, sit down. I took off the front pack during boarding just so I could hold it in my hand. And I didn't want to have to like navigate that onto the plane, but that was really easy. I just put my arm through the straps and carried it in with my jacket. It went on the overhead, more than enough space. There was no risk. This is how it looks above the overhead. Not really a concern. The small one is a wonderful size to put under the seat and still have your feet actually be able to fit on the other side. So if you're someone that likes to stretch out on a plane, get a little comfy, the backpack slides under there excellently. And the personal item is perfect with the front access zipper, so I could put my Kindle and then some of the contents that were normally in my purse in there, so I could really easily access those. So that was great. In flight, I could grab my iPad, my headphones, and kind of be able to access everything without having to fully open up my suitcase. This one, it just opens right in the front. It's like a deep hole, and I can just shove my hands in there to get all my stuff out. From there, it was just more of the same. Go and get my stuff, get off the fly. I waited till the end so I could grab a little video. We've successfully deplaned. I got my stuff. Now I'm just gonna strap it back to me, get a taxi, go to the hotel. We're almost there. So when I got to the hotel, this is how my bag looked from the end of the flight. Because I packed in packing cubes and my toiletry bag and different organizers, everything stayed really organized. I didn't have to worry about too much shifting. So this is how I was feeling initially right when I got to the hotel and I had a chance to like decompress and really put together my thoughts. I made it through the airport and I've gotten to the hotel, relaxed for a bit. Here's some initial thoughts on me using a 40-liter plus a 15-liter backpack in the airport. Some things I notice for how I travel is, one, I'm typically walking a lot in an airport. So regardless of where my gate is, if there's a lounge, I'm gonna try and find it. So if that means I might need to leave like 20 minutes before boarding to leave from the lounge to walk to boarding, that's a 20-minute walk or maybe a 10-minute walk and then a train ride I have to take. And I'll get to the airport early to get that food. But I had to keep in mind that I'm walking around with this backpack on. And it kind of made me second guess how much I wanted to really be walking. Normally, it wouldn't really mean anything to just stroll around the airport until my gate starts boarding. But this time it was like, it was a sort of an is it worth it kind of moment. Am I still gonna have the same enjoyment walking around the airport as I did? So that was the first thing I noticed. It was a lot easier for me to get off the plane. I was carrying the day pack in my hand and then I put the backpack on my back, so that was good. But overall, it was just heavy, and that could be me overpacking it. Even here, I considered changing hotels, and the other one that I wanted to go to was like less than a mile. In any other time, I would have taken my roller suitcase and then just walked. But this time I was like, I'm not walking down the street with these two backpacks on. So that's what it was like during the travel day. For the rest of this week, I'm gonna be carrying the little day pack during the daytime for the convention. So I'll try to put in some clips of how that goes. But for the most part, I just need to have my water bottle, laptop, iPad. Depending on how it goes, I might carry my coffee mug around with me. Yeah, that is how that's gonna go. But right now we made it to Tucson and it looks like my Uber is here. So I'll see y'all later. So now it's time for my next hurdle with the backpacks, using the 15-liter as my bag throughout the conference. I didn't bring an extra tote bag. I didn't bring anything else. I had committed to using the personal item as my bag for the rest of the days that I was there. We made it to the hotel room. I emptied out most of the stuff from my backpack. So now I have laptop, iPad, purse, water. Laptop, iPad, purse, water, camera, and I think that's it. So I thought it was gonna look crazy, but I mean, it works. It'll make the outfit look weird. As long as I get good notes, that's really all that matters. Better than a tote bag. Okay, bye. As you can see, it really didn't look that bad. I thought wearing a backpack with my outfits was gonna like mess with the vibe, but the way it's shaped and just the way it sits on my back, it's very minimal. It really didn't stick out. I mean, like there were definitely people that had bigger backpacks and those looked fine too. So with everything, carrying that backpack around was perfect. It was easy for me to get my iPad and laptop out of those sleeves and to sort of keep everything organized. I didn't have to worry about the bag tipping over and all of my stuff falling out like with an open topped tote bag. And I really did enjoy using that bag. Also, the two mesh pockets on the front are plenty large for your water bottle. And then if you only have one water bottle, definitely easy to put some grab and go stuff there. For the most part, I had my camera in there because I would be grabbing it every 5 minutes. So it made it easy for me to pull it in and out. And then that top front pocket is perfectly accessible for any like quicker things. But having also the flap that folds over the zipper made me feel a bit more secure that someone couldn't like quietly unzip and steal my stuff when I wasn't paying attention. So it was a really good bag to use for the daytime. So let's talk about what really didn't work with that setup and what did work with that setup. First, for me, was the fact that I wasn't able to move about as easily as normal. That was probably the main con, which I don't think is a comment on the backpack. I think for me, that's a comment on this style of packing, the two backpack style versus a rolling suitcase and a backpack. I don't think in the end that is what would be best for me long term. To carry 55 liters of stuff on my back, when you packed it as full as I did, was just a bit excessive for me. On the flip side, what did work was that the way the backpack is structured and the frame and the fit made those 33 pounds incredibly comfortable. The backpack is very well made. I thought the frame was gonna get in my way since I've only ever used unframed backpacks, but the structure really helped everything just sit nicely on my back. Even while having the backpack open in the hotel room, you know, it was able to hold its own on the little luggage rack, so it wasn't like flopping over the sides. And I was able to kind of live out of that backpack instead of having to unpack all of my things. I think for a regular vacation, honestly, 55 liters is maybe even more than enough. Like, I didn't even wear 2 or 3 of the outfits. So I had more than enough space. And I also feel like I bring more tech than the average person. So with having an abundance of clothes and an abundance of tech, someone else could probably pack for like 2 or 3 weeks, or like if not a month, if you pack with, you know, using your noggin. You could get a lot done in a 55 liter backpack. So if you're someone that not want to have wheels on the ground, but you want to be able to fit a lot, this bag is perfect because it's just an open pit and you can stuff it and not have to worry about anything getting in your way. You are the author of your own packing journey, and this bag might be the one. The zippers worked really well. It was very easy to pack and unpack. If you are someone that doesn't like to use packing cubes, maybe consider it. I can see this bag getting pretty unorganized if you don't have your own organization system in your backpack. If you threw all the clothes in there loosey and goosey, they're gonna get wrinkled. But using packing cubes, having a toiletry bag, having individual bags for my like electronics and cables and cameras and mics, made it so when I opened it, it was just kind of like a bag of bags. We all love a good bag of bags. I liked being able to organize everything myself. I feel like there's a time and place for the different types of backpacks that have organization versus the ones that you organize yourself. But when you do it yourself, you are definitely able to fit more than if you didn't. If there's anything I felt like was missing, it would be an exterior pocket on the 40 liter. I think that was just because that's what I'm used to, and I would forget that I had the second backpack. So when I would go and get the main backpack, I would think, oh, I put this in the front pocket, when really I put it in the personal item. Maybe if they were able to add like an external zipper somewhere just to be able to slide things in and out, that would be the only thing I could think that would be missing from this bag. But overall, definitely a well-made bag, especially for someone who likes the backpack style of travel. The final verdict. Would I use this bag for another 5-day trip? Probably not. It was very heavy for me, and I love wheels. But would I recommend this bag to other travelers? Absolutely. If you are someone that wants to subscribe to the backpacking model, I think this is a really good one to make sure the weight is distributed very well on you. The waist straps are thick. It has the chest strap. It has the snap for the front bag. It is a wonderful bag for the people who want that type of travel. But for me, I do like wheels. Maybe one day I'll try, I don't know if Osprey makes any kind of bags with wheels. Maybe one day I'll try one of those. For shorter trips, I would consider maybe just using the 15 liter if I only needed like a weekend. Pack some clothes in there, pack some toiletries, because I really did enjoy that bag. So it's nice to have one bag that comes with the 2 options. Do I think it is the best travel backpack for women? Right now, kind of. I mean, find me another backpack that has 2 different styles for men and for women, because y'all know they are not making stuff targeted for women. You get one wide backpack and that's all you get, where they said, no, we know you want something a little bit narrower and adjustable to fit your body. And I think that that is something that more companies really need to capitalize on, because this one was perfect. Having a bag, it actually felt like it fit me, especially with having the narrower back. That was really knocked it out of the park with that one. So if you're looking for a bag made for women, then this one would also be a very high contender. So if you have been eyeing the Osprey 55 liter Fairview backpack, then I really hope this video has helped you. If you are considering purchasing one and you would like to support the channel, I have put the links to purchase this backpack in the description as well as in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos and you get all of the travel tips you could ever want. And please ring that bell icon so you'll be notified every time I post. See you next time. Bye.